Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, I repeat, as I started previously, on and on it goes, and in Nigeria it goes on and on. So on it goes again as I bring you this. Sowore, your reign as Yoruba leader is over. Nnamdi Kanu speaks to Tinubu. So that's the headline. Sowore, your reign as Yoruba leader is over. Nnamdi Kanu speaks to Tinubu. Now let's see what now the Igbo leader has to say. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, has declared that the reign of Bola Tinubu as Yoruba leader was over. So let me just pause there for a moment. I was never aware that Bola Tinubu was a Yoruba leader. A lot of people will tell you that he is, but none of those people are actual real Yoruba people, because I, as a Yoruba man, have always considered this guy to be some just like criminal opportunist and nothing else. No dissimilar to Babangida or the rest of them. He's just an opportunist looking for an extra dollar to continue to loot the Nigerian coffers. This is nothing to do with Yoruba people, because this is a guy, of course, from, I think it's Ogun State he's from, but he will tell you that he's from Lagos State, and he was the governor of Lagos State for 8 years, and he has captured that state since 1999, because of course he knows that that is where all of the money of Nigeria is, and he has looted that state so much that he cannot now leave that space, because the moment that he leaves the Lagos State space, except of course he goes to Aso Rock, the moment he leaves that Lagos State space, or the moment that that Lagos State space is wrestled away from Bola Tinubu, is the moment that that guy begins his first day in Kirikiri. So he's a criminal, and of course not the Yoruba leader, but then of course the broad understanding of the Nigerian space is that this guy, this Bola Tinubu element, is the Yoruba leader, but of course no Yoruba person will tell you that. So we carry on. Kanu made the remark whilst insisting that Omoyele Sowore, convener of Revolution Now movement, has taken over as Yoruba leader. The IPOB leader spoke during a live broadcast on Radio Biafra yesterday, describing Sowore as the new face of Yoruba liberation. Kanu stressed that the activist would be made the next face of Yoruba land anytime he steps out of prison. Kanu said, "Let me tell Tinubu this, your reign as leader of the Yoruba people is finished. Sowore is the new face of Yoruba liberation. Sowore is the new Yoruba leader. Any day Sowore steps out of prison, he will be the next face of Yoruba land. Sowore will come out and he will lead his people to freedom. Sowore should go and fight for Oduduwa. Nigeria is useless." So now there are several narratives now to what this Nnamdi Kanu guy has presented. So now let's explore that. So the first thing that he said, of course, is that Tinubu is no longer the Yoruba leader, and I have already addressed that. I don't think any sentient Yoruba being with an IQ above 2 digits considers Tinubu anything other than a criminal. So this guy is just a criminal as far as the Yoruba race are concerned. But then, of course, in the broad strokes of Nigeria, they see him as a Yoruba leader. But of course, there's no real Yoruba person of any IQ level that has any thought of that. So that's the first element. Now, the second element is that he is now identifying Sowore as the new Yoruba champion. Now, Sowore, of course, has never attached his name to any ethnicity. You will recall that during the presidential campaign, Sowore traversed the whole entirety of the Nigerian space, going to every village from the furthest north to the southest south, to interact with the local people and say, what are your needs, and this is my plan. So this is a guy that has never been ethnic in his coloration, but then of course the coloration of Nigerian politics is about two things and two things only, and anybody who wants to pretend to play politics in Nigeria that wants to sit himself outside of these two elements is just fooling himself. So the two elements of Nigerian politics, of course, are two things: tribe and religion. There's no getting away from that. The two things, and the two things only, that are the two determinants within the Nigerian space. Actually, there are three determinants within the Nigerian space, but the two primal determinants within the Nigerian space are tribe and religion. And then the third element, of course, is violence, which is, of course, what the Malamis use, because they are, of course, Meidumbu merchants. All they understand is kill, kill until you subdue. So, but the two elements, what underpins that their ability to use that violence as a tool to control the Nigerian space is tribe and religion. So now, inadvertently and by quirk of speech, Nnamdi Kanu has happened upon what is the Achilles heel, the faux pas, the mortal error of Sowore, because Sowore wants to be Nigerian. But then, of course, the Fulanis from Niger Republic, etc., which constitutes the broader Fulani hegemony, and all the way to Kaduna, etc., they don't really consider Sowore to be anything. It's just some idiot. And if you go through like a comment section like mine, for instance, I'm just a small YouTuber, but even anytime I go through my comment section, if you do a video on Sowore, the Igbos people will say, you Yoruba people, you are not defending Sowore in the way that we Igbo people are defending Nnamdi Kanu. So even the Igbo people don't consider Sowore to be anything other than a Yoruba man. So now the broad strokes of the Nigerian space is all about ethnicity, but then Sowore wants to position himself as a nationalistic figure. So this is a high call. It's a worthy call, and it's a call that I agree with, by the way, because the clarion call is more to the conscience than to the ethnicity or the religion. But then, of course, the Nigerian being that is led by that level of intellectual participation is few and far between. So Sowore, of course, will have followership in every single state of the Nigerian space. There's absolutely no question about that. And that followership, of course, will be the elites, the intellectuals, the university students, the thinking mind, and then the people who are avant-garde in their sort of like mindset. But then how many Nigerians are avant-garde in their mindset is really where the question is, and this is really where the faux pas is for this Sowore type mindset, because of course the Nigerian space is not yet ready for that thinking, because the Nigerian space is still at the elementary primal level. You have to understand, of course, that the Nigerian being is at the survival level. So the example of that, of course, is how the elections are conducted within the Nigerian space. So they say they want to conduct an election, then they round up a few people, and not a few people, quite a mass of people actually, and then give them 5,000 naira and ask them to go and rig, to go and cause havoc and disrupt the whole system, and effectively force them into the position that they're aspiring to. So this is how the Nigerian politician functions. But then who, of course, is that being that they give this 5,000 naira either to go and vote, but of course the talks, they don't give them 5,000 naira, they give them 5 million, and then out of that 5 million, they then give out 5,000 naira to the people that will line up and just say that they are voting, etc. You all know how the system is. But why is the system that way? The system is that way not because the people who are being given this 5,000 naira do not understand that this 5,000 naira is effectively mortgaging their future for the next 4 years. They understand that there's nobody in the Nigerian space that is stupid enough not to understand that the 5,000 naira that the politician, or the 10,000 naira, however many thousand naira that they're giving them on election day, there's no Nigerian that is stupid enough not to understand that that payment is effectively mortgaging their future for the next 4 years. They understand that, but then of course their need at that moment is primal. their need for that moment is primal. So the average Nigerian person has 2-3 kids at home plus a wife, and then of course the landlord is after them. They haven't had like a decent meal for God knows how long. Everything, they are avoiding crossing through that street anymore because they are owing mama down the road for all the things that they've taken on credit, and they are now having to go the long way around because they are owing so many people. They are dodging all around their community, etc. So that 5,000 naira would insulate momentarily their immediate needs. So this is really the primal thing that really leads the Nigerian voter to that 5,000 naira that the politician gives them. So this is really why they mortgage their future, of course. Conversations in the comment section. I don't want to ramble on, but you all know the narrative, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything that you do not know. But Nnamdi Kanu now trying to identify Sowore as the new Yoruba champion as opposed to Tinubu is an F9 and an F9 from me all the way through. Although I know he's well intentioned, but it's an F9 and an F9 because he doesn't really have a full grasp of the Yoruba space. The Yoruba space, of course, does not identify Tinubu as their champion. Tinubu is just a character, a looter that uses his looted funds to aggressively hold on to his position. We all saw that with the 2 bullion vans that went to his house in Bodilion during the election. So you already know that this guy is not a man that plays the politics of popularity. He plays the politics of money. So Tinubu certainly, and no Yoruba man will tell you, or woman, that Tinubu is their champion. So Tinubu is not the Yoruba champion, no. So Sowore could be the Yoruba champion, but then of course Sowore is agitating for a different space because he wants the Igbo man, he wants the Hausa man, he wants the Fulani man, and then he wants the Yoruba man and everybody in between under a collective that is Nigerian. A worthy aspiration, but a pie in the sky sort of mindset, given the sort of situation that we find ourselves in within the Nigerian space at the moment, because we're now being reverted now to primal instincts and base level with the sort of jam-jawid situation that we find ourselves in with Malam Buhari and the cabal. So conversations about all this in the comment section. In Nnamdi Kanu's position regarding Tinubu, Sowore, the Yoruba race and the Igbo race and the greater Nigerian space is all up for discussion. This is all what we are having a conversation about. So come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button will notify you the next time I drop this type of videos again, so you're aware. So do that. Click on subscribe and click on notification as well. So now once you've done both, come join me now in the comment section to exchange with me what you are making of all that I have said. If you agree with bits and you don't agree with bits, if you agree in its entirety or you disagree in its entirety, let's have a conversation about all this in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section, but here I say peace.